want to take like at least a moment to talk about this particular game that which just came out. It feels like it's been delayed so many times, and it was delayed so many times. But chat, I think this this past week we have seen the release of Bethesda's Deathloop. This is developed by Arcane Studios, who are also the creators of the Dishonored series, and also, in my opinion, the really criminally underrated Prey reboot, which no one played except me, I suppose. But I really enjoyed that game. But so far, this is getting excellent reviews. The one thing though I do want to talk about, apparently, that it is having like numerous issues on PC. And this game, where it's you basically you're doing typically the same thing over and over again, but there's so many different variations which you can do it and change your strategy and things. It's been having apparently stuttering issues, frame rate issues, and of course now it's currently being review bombed on Metacritic by PC play.
I was so hyped for Deathloop. It matches like some of my favorite aesthetics, like
60s retro, man. Looks so good.
Like, I mean, shoot. Look at this, right? So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm hyped for Deathloop. If anything, it didn't really necessarily take the flight out of my sails. I was just like, I don't need to see it again. Like, let me just play the game.
Yeah, but at least to give people an idea of what this game looks like, which you've already seen it. But hey, it is fun. I do like the 60s retro for it. But then we'll go ahead and we'll talk about these PC issues. But yeah, here is a little bit of a Deathloop right now. Just that shot alone of like using your psychic powers to lift them up and just sniping them. I mean, the gameplay just looks so wonderfully
cool.
kinetic. Yeah, but I can totally see why, justifiably, PC players would be like, I can't do these things because of the stuttering and the frame rate. It kills the total experience. I think that is where gameplay is king when it comes to this particular title. And when you take that away, then it's like, yeah, I think PC players should be justifiably upset about this.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I know it happens, but it's like a reverse Cyberpunk where
I know
PC is the one who's suffering.
Yeah,
it makes me sad because I'm like,
that's the one that runs the best on you. You would typically expect.
Normally has this. It's just the customization to make the settings work for any game, right? And I'm not a PC Master Race person. I mean, I literally just said I have all the consoles, but it's very astonishing that number one, I know they knew this. You test your games on. You do get a dev kit. So if you PS5's out, so I know that they have the actual console too. But you also get a development variation of the console whenever you're doing your testing, especially the dev kits that you get sent out before. Not the point. Look, so I know that they've done plenty of testing with this because PC is always the most readily available area of how you run and test a game. So the fact that it was released, like, there's no reason why your game should ever release buggy on a PC or a console, or at least the buggy to the point of where you cannot play it and enjoy it.
Yeah,
I don't mind if a game. So Psychonauts 2, it has bugs. But that's a solo player platformer where people will break platforms for speed running all the time.
That's true.
That's what they do. that is their job.
Yeah, and they hope that doesn't get patched because it'll kill their speed run. Yeah,
it'll kill their speed run. And so I have a little more nuance with that. This, on the other hand, is an FPS with a lot of different mechanics, movements, and things of that nature. If your experience is relying on kinetic energy and kinetic flows, then the experience itself of the gameplay is so important.
Yeah, totally agree. And so that's why it's just interesting that this was released in such a state on PC. Some people in the chat are saying that I've seen streams that it wasn't stunning on PC at all. I'm just going by what I've been reading on multiple publications within the video game industry. So, and I have checked out footage. I wish I had it right here of clips of people who have played this on PC and having issues. And it's not acceptable. So
all that's telling me is that this isn't like a this week purchase. This is probably a next month purchase because
I agree.
Not granted, it is Bethesda.
If you're playing on PC,
I mean, but it's Bethesda. So
it's a Bethesda published game. Like if this is Bethesda Softworks,
but it's Arcane Studios.
Yeah, it's Arcane who did Dishonored, who did Prey, and I can't remember if those games had any specific issues or frame rate issues or stuttering. I mean, maybe they did. I just don't know. But I know that Bethesda Softworks is notorious with bugs and glitches for years. They never patch it. I mean, everything Elder Scrolls or a Fallout game. That's just par for the course for them. Not making excuses because that should not be the case. But this is just a Bethesda studio,
yeah,
under the umbrella.
Under the network.
Yeah. Just like id or just like Machine Games. So.
And just to quickly address it, because I want to make sure your point was brought up too, Corey Bourne, totally on the same page there in terms of QA testers. A lot of their times their feedback is ignored, and I wasn't particularly directing my comment of it's unacceptable to release a game with bugs like that.
Yeah.
From particularly the QA perspective, because I'm more than certain that they probably brought up areas, and if you have a proper QA team, and I know how head investors run, shoot, especially my past experience in my last role, getting to talk about some C-suite people, you learn real quickly how priorities shift like that. But I think it's just more so like I don't like that being the standard. I've never liked that being the standard. But I think this is more of a case of, because it works very fluidly on one console and not the other, this is more of a case of like, it's not a Cyberpunk situation.
No, I'm not even comparing it to Cyberpunk.
Like
that game shouldn't have even been released.
No, it shouldn't have been released. It shouldn't have been released on last gen at all.
No,
but
they lied to people. So CD Projekt Red lied to people in regards to that game and how it was actually running. They didn't like the footage they shown. Like, this is running on a PS4. It's an Xbox One. That was a fucking lie.
Oh, it's a lie. It's 100% a lie.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping one day. Because someone brought up how modders are, Mr. Yasman, of course, how modders always fix Bethesda games.
That's true. Yeah, you download
I'm almost wishing like some, because I really feel like there's got to be more ways to get modders paid for how much work they put into games.
I mean, but they're doing it on their own.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
free will.
But I'm also like, hey, like I wish there was like a bounty system or something. Or like,
it'd be interesting. Or I mean, because they don't own the IP,
own the rights,
and they can't start charging like
murky.
for it. Yeah,
it gets murky. But if you're genuinely, but I think it should be like a systematic thing where like, I think, and if I'm not mistaken, I haven't played this a lot, but Minecraft, I believe they have a store where like people, you're allowed to post things.
Okay.
And then like you can get sort of incremental revenue from said store.
And then like Microsoft takes like a percentage of it, or Mojang takes
stuff like that, right? And so I think that you have some flexibility there that's possible.